Well, we have another little incident here, which I call a collectible incident. As some people know, I collect this material. It's a collection of material. I'm more of a collector, hobbyist than an activist at this point. I collect this material. And this is not news. We've seen this multiple times. It's the same old thing. But I like to capture the suffering that's inflicted on people by the United States public transportation systems and Trimet specifically. I mean, anybody that knows anything about the United States public, it's horrible everywhere. Not just Trimet. Trimet is horrible, but it's horrible everywhere. They meet the standard for American public transportation. Unreliable, crowded, dirty, completely inhumane. That's the standard for American public transportation. And every now and then, we get situations where bus drivers find out who they're working for. And, you know, it's an awakening when employees actually find out that they're working for a company that doesn't give one damn shit what happens to you. And I try to make this information available to the people that see it. I know it's not very many, but some do. So that you know who Trimet really, there's no benevolence there. There's no management there that cares about you. You have a management aristocracy, McFarland and Kelsey, the board. They're the aristocrats, and they really have no concern over the employees and or the riders. They couldn't care less about you. And we need to make that clear over and over again because so many people have been fooled by the never-ending mainstream propaganda supporting Trimet's uniqueness and wonderfulness is one of the best in the country and we're on the cutting edge. All lies, all fake media. I think a lot of people at this point in life have realized that the mainstream media is nothing but corporate government media. And we live now in a fascist country where government and corporations have merged, where the government only serves the interests of corporate America and the citizens are no longer important. And you see it played out in situations like this. And, you know, I'm not trying to embarrass the operator. Hopefully she won't see it. I don't post it to places where people, like Facebook, I don't even post on Facebook anymore. And that's where all the operators are. I do all my posting on Twitter because it's a very small crowd of people that see my material. But I will put this up because it's significant. And let's see what it is.
7143. 7143, I got another request to talk. Go ahead. You want me to just get out of the bus when I feel horrible? Ride the bus back to, like, find my own way back to my car? Yeah, it's not policy if you're sick for us to transport back, and it's a safety issue for you to drive the bus if you're that sick. It's unbelievable. I've worked here 12 years, and they have never treated me this way. I'm just a conduit. I'm following procedure. So you can tie up there, and I can send a supervisor that way. When he gets to your relief operator, I can have him speak with you. I just can't believe it. 12 years working at Trimet. I have never been treated this way. You know, and I'm sorry. I'm following the rules, and I'm doing what I'm told to do. So if you have an issue, you can talk to your station manager. Oh, all right. Thank you, 1826.
So this is another operator that found out the hard way who Trimet really is, and they're not a company that cares about. They're the kind of company that lets you retire and thinks you have a certain degree of benefits, and then just takes them away without even thinking twice. They're the kind of company that allows somebody who's in distress and sick to be stranded in the middle of nowhere because it's company policy. And you know what strikes me about the cruelty of all that is how the white-shirted union employees are so callous themselves. They're so callous. I'm just following procedure. In other words, they've completely lost their humanity too. And what brings to mind, I know this is kind of extreme, but it brings to mind how Hitler was able to exterminate all those people, because it wasn't Hitler that did the job. It was the people under Hitler who were just following procedure. And this is a mini version of that. You have your people who are willing to follow procedure because that's their job, who are immune to the suffering of others. And I'm always astonished that there's no humanity, there's so little humanity left in this world, and I'm always astonished when I run into this kind of cruelty that I see from Trimet. This institutionalized cruelty is so awful. You know, I can't believe anybody shows up to work here sometimes. I've always wished these goddamn operators would get some fucking solidarity together and just not show up, all of them at once. You know, if something like this happens, everybody should say, I'm not going to work tomorrow until this policy changes. We're not showing up, none of us, until McFarlane changes his fucking policy. But they're not going to do that because they're all pussy-whipped by Trimet. They don't want to lose their jobs. I'm happy that they have the slave mentality. So they will take this kind of abuse and take it over and over and over. And the few people that do stand up end up out the door. Me being one of them, all right? I wasn't fired. I snuck out the back door before they could do it. But I don't know, man. It's so incredible to me that Trimet can get away with this kind of impunity. Hard to believe. It really is. Where's the union? Oh, I know where they are. They're collecting their big fat paychecks.